So who am I? I'm a developer advocate from Vonage. Here you can see me at one of the previous CityJSs that I was at in Athens. Ours is home. Highly recommended. And thank you for welcoming me to India. It's been really amazing couple of days here in Delhi. You can see this is the 5th CityJS. If you ever get a chance to go to any of the other CityJSs, it's really awesome. It's always fun, tight-knit community, and a lot of really smart people. So a little bit about Vonage. We're a API company. Historically, we've been doing communication APIs. So that's text, telephony, video, authentication, and then a whole bunch of service APIs on top of that. And so we got bought by Ericsson 2 years ago, and since then, now we're working to build out network APIs. So basically, the future of 4G and 5G network APIs, basically allowing you to program into the network and extend your application. So we'll see how that works in this demo today to help defend against fraud. So fraud, why should we care? Everybody knows that fraud's bad, but let's put some numbers against it. Just in the first 4 months, only in India of this year, cybercrime cost over $200 million. And I remember I looked up how to say it in rupees, but it was some really crazy big number. And so that's just in 4 months. So by the end of the year, it'll definitely go over $1 billion just in India of fraudsters trying to take advantage of your applications, take advantage of your users. Some of the common fraud that's happening now, right? Things are evolving. Simple 2FA, which we offer. We do offer 2FA. It's not enough anymore. Fraudsters are figuring out ways around it. So everybody knows about phishing, but did you hear about smishing or coercing? So every time that we're evolving something new, the scam artists are getting one step ahead. Also, there's a thing called SIM swap fraud. So people are taking over your account, then they're hooking up people's accounts to their own SIM, and then being able to act like you from their own device. So we need ways to stop all of these different kinds of scams. And outside of Vonage, there's also, outside of the products that we offer, there's also another kind of fraud that's happening, which is deepfake scams. So AI is amazing. All you have to do is write a little line and it creates, a new masterpiece like Picasso. But AI is amazing. You just write one line and it creates a masterpiece like my face that says, "This is me." So we need, as developers, we need to be thinking about how all of the scams are evolving and how we keep staying ahead of them. It seems pretty obvious, but why do we care about fraud? We want to make people happy. First of all, we want to make our users happy. We don't want them to think, oh man, this was a poorly designed application. I'm sure if you speak with the people in your marketing department, how much time they spend thinking to try and get a good brand awareness about your company, how to make people love your brand. If you've ever been taken advantage of, having to fight with a company that that has some fraudulent charges, it's like the worst. You're never going to go back. You never want to use their app again. For people in your team, your developers, instead of building cool features, trying to figure out how did we lose everybody's money last month. This is not a happy place. And lastly, for the company in general, you want to be thinking about building your business forward and how you're going to outcompete. So fraud is kind of like the thing you just want to throw away, but it is important. So you do care about fraud. So how do we solve against all of these new evolving ways that scam artists are taking advantage of us? First, we're going to look at how our user behavior changes and how it compares to the average way that these users act over the last period. Second, we have a built-in product that creates a number score. So that looks at information that it gets back from the number, which are key indicators of, is this legitimate traffic or not legitimate traffic, based off of what kind of phone number it is, if it's reachable, and a lot of other data points that we get back from the number registration itself. Third, so these new 5G network APIs, some of the cool things is that it gives back information from the network. So we can compare what's the information we're getting from the device versus the information that we're getting from the network. So one of the pieces of information we get back is the SIM. When was it registered, and when was the last time that it was updated, like taken out of the phone and put back in the phone? You can get this from the network. So now we can also add it in our app. When somebody's trying to log in or sign up, we can compare if this is something that makes sense or not. Authentication, everybody really loves 2FA. I know my parents really love 2FA, especially when they're trying to use Netflix on the TV. And to log into Netflix, then they have to log into their email. And then the email also, they forgot the password, so then they have to ask for another 2FA. And the next thing you know, all they're doing is they're turning on the local television. So we're getting past 2FA, and we have something called Silent Auth, which you'll see in a second. But the idea is that we as developers, we still want to make sure that this device belongs to this person, and we have a way to make sure that these are connected. And lastly, with these network APIs, we can get information about the location of the device. So if your app is based in Delhi, probably most of your users might be in Delhi, right? If it's like a local business or bank or something like that. So because we have the location, and if all of a sudden we see somebody says that they live in Delhi, but now I'm getting that they're using the application from, I don't know, New Zealand, all of a sudden I'm going to be like, maybe that's something weird. So maybe I should check into that. So combining all of these different factors, what we can do is build a comprehensive solution. Instead of just looking at one data point, we can look at a lot of data points and then decide, is this something that's fraudulent? Maybe we want to stop them, or we just let them pass through as normal. So now we'll do the demo. So we have this pre-built demo, and most of it's happening in the back end, but we made some nice pictures so that it's exciting. So basically here we're imagining that we have a banking app, and we're going to log in. And this is my number here, my number from Tel Aviv. So we're going to go and log in. Let's see, it's been running very slow. So the first thing we check is we use a Vonage product called Fraud Defender. And what this does is it checks on the number, what is the behavior against the past 60 days for the last 12 hours. So what have I been doing recently versus what is my average behavior? And you also, it also checks against like basically swarm. So if I'm logging in quite a lot of times very, very fast, this protects against something called toll fraud, where people, there's a way that you can, use like text messaging or voice to make really expensive operations. And so basically this stops against people with bot armies trying to attack you. So we pass this, that's good. And we can even, in the Fraud Defender, what it does is that it saves inside of the product correlated to the number. So each time you run it, it looks back to what it has on record. So that if in the past maybe the Fraud Defender, like it doesn't pass one of the other checks, it's going to first check, maybe this was a fraud number in the past, so let's stop it right away. And then it saves a reason. So here, it gives you the reason, why did it let through? So when I was running this earlier today, I didn't pass one of the checks, so I guess it's saved in there. I need to clear out the cache, I think. Anyway, let's imagine, okay, I have a good number. We're moving on. I think this is where it got tripped up. Yeah, number fraud. So this is what I said. We have an API that creates a fraud score. So it looks at information from the phone number, and it sees what's the riskiness. Now, I don't know if you can see, but down here in the error message, it says medium risk. So you can see that here we're giving, inside of this solution, it's a weighted score. That's something that I came up with. So you can adjust the score however you want. So because the number fraud is just looking at the phone information, we're not going to count it too much. So let's go to the next step. And I think that the reason that it's tripping off is because I hadn't run this demo in a very long time, and then the last 2 days I've been running it a lot. So now it thinks that I'm actually like hacking my own demo, which is really fun to see. So the next step is the SIM swap. So this is the network APIs, and we're going to get a -1. You're going to ask, man, what's happening? He built this fraud protection thing, and he can't even enter his own app. The -1 is correct because what SIM swap does, like I said, is it's checking the SIM card. Now, this network APIs are very, very new. So far, they're only launched in production in Spain and Germany. Next year, we're bringing them on in 19 new countries, including India. So we're working with the mobile carrier providers to bring them to new countries, but I don't know if you ever worked with telecoms. Things move very, very slow. The cool thing for developers is that you can start using them right now. We created a virtual CSP, so a virtual mobile carrier, so that you can start using the APIs, playing with them, start getting back responses, and then be ready to go next year when we bring it to India. Or if your app is running in Spain and Germany, you can already start using it. It really just depends where your users are. So the next one is the silent auth. You might ask, it's silent auth. It's supposed to happen in the background. But the computer, the laptop's running on the Wi-Fi, and silent auth only works through the mobile carrier, right? So it's going to check, is this device getting the right information from the mobile? So I have to actually trigger it. I'm doing like a little trigger here from my phone. And then it should. So instead of having to do like a one-time password, that would have just run whenever I hit login on the bank app, right? So the user doesn't actually have to do it. And here, because we see that the information is coming from the device and I'm in possession of the device, we give it a big score. Lastly, we have the device location. So this is another one of our network APIs that is coming out. And so basically we can get the location of the device and set it custom to a rule. So I set it custom to the location of the conference. And so it says, okay, cool, the device is where it should be. And then lastly, this is where we add the AWS. Let's see if we can get it to work. It was going very slow today with the network. So it's hard because I can't see. It's supposed to check my face. Let's see if it thinks I'm a real person. So here, this is how we can add another layer of protection comparing to see if this is a real person or a deep fake. If we get an answer. I hope it's up service. Let's see. So I'll tell you, this one is the best one. It usually tells me that I'm a human. So far, I haven't failed the human test. Okay, but anyway, you can see how combining all these different factors, we have a comprehensive solution to see, is this really a real user? And then we can set some sort of a rule inside of our app that if it meets a certain amount of check marks, then we think this is real. Otherwise, let's put a pause and then reach out to the end user to confirm that they're real. So that's the demo. I don't know if you haven't had a chance to come by the booth. We have a lot of great stuff. Daniela, Nitin, and I are over there. We're giving away a cool backpack. Technology is not my friend today. We're giving away a cool backpack, but we also have tons of smaller prizes. Okay. Everyone can go home a winner with some free API credit. Start testing out the communication APIs and our network APIs. This is where I'm working in the developer experience team. We're really trying to get developers in the process early to make a really nice experience to start using some of these brand new network APIs. Tomorrow, I'm giving an hour-long workshop at the end of the last one. I would really love to see some of the faces come back tomorrow. It's really useful. So basically in 1 hour, you're going to learn how to build a WhatsApp agent that connects to generative AI, connects to Slack, and helps you get feedback. So in just 1 hour, you can do something that'll be fun that you can show off with your friends.